All right, well, welcome back to another exciting episode of Focus on Safety and Well-Being of the community of Carmel-by-the-Sea. I'm Chip Rarick, your city administrator. To my left, the good-looking Chief Paul Tomasi, your chief of everything, including the assistant chief of emergency services, ELC. I think it is, right? Yep. Right. And I wanted to quote the mayor by starting. You know, he's talked about, one of his favorite quotes is, the art of good government is communication. So hopefully, again, the information that we're providing, the communication, is helpful to you. And if we can do better, I'm sure you won't hesitate to tell us how we can do that. So we'll do our best. Today is Friday the 17th of April. It's about 12:45. Thanks to Ashley Wright. She's taken over from Maxine Gulo on posting these. Thanks so much, Ash. You do a great job. I'm very, very grateful. The first thing I want to talk about, Chief, is we did close parking yesterday or Wednesday afternoon on Del Mar, the Del Mar parking lot, the entire length of Scenic all the way to the Frank Willard Wright House and the east side of San Antonio through its length. And we've gotten a couple questions about why we're prohibiting parking. The first thing is we wanted to open up the roadways and to discourage social gathering.
Correct.
And encourage social distancing. And because those parking areas really had become an effective gathering place for people before they launched to the beach or went wherever they were going. So closing those down, through traffic remains on Scenic. Seems to be, the program seems to be working well. We'll be enforcing it. And it seems to be really well embraced by the community so far. So again, the beach is still open. The beach, for everyone's benefit, the beach is part of the public common. And we in local government, we hold the beach in trust as stewards for all Californians. So in California, all 1,200 miles of coastline is open to the public. There are no private beaches, in contrast to the East Coast, parts of where I'm from, in New England. So anyway, again, just to reinforce, the beach is part of everyone's, and we continue to encourage you to be polite and respectful if there are people down there that you don't know on a regular basis. We are a community. We thrive together in good times and bad times. And in that vein, I wanted to thank Visit Carmel, the Carmel Residents Association, the Chamber, the restaurateurs who are organized as well, all of which are important elements of our community. And they are looking forward. And they're looking forward based on when we're going to come out of this COVID-19 nightmare. And they're also looking and being engaged in Sacramento, where the governor, of course, this week had his six-point plan to kind of reopen our local economy, reopen our state, if you will. And I think one of the best quotes I heard from that conversation that the governor produced, Chief, was that it's going to be more like a dimmer switch. And hopefully we'll be lightening that dimmer rather than darkening it, of course. But it's not going to be a switch. It's going to be a dimmer. So that's what I have, sir. What do you have for us?
Thanks, Chip. Well, a part of our goal with this blog and other sources of reaching out is really we've ramped up our messaging, right? We're trying to get our word out. We're trying to keep people engaged, updated with what's happening. And one of those ways we do that is through Nextdoor. I've been posting messages regularly, giving people updates, especially regarding the beach. And I've had some positive feedback about that. But I just want to let you know there's 450 people, fantastic, residents who are on Nextdoor.
That's
so
fantastic.
Another great way we can reach our community. So if you're not on Nextdoor, sign up. It's a little bit challenging without our addresses, but it is possible because 450 people are doing it. Yet this past week, Building and Planning, along with myself, met with the DA's office. We talked about the shelter-in-place order. Specifically mentioned was construction, which, as you all know, we're getting a lot of calls on. There is construction continuing in town, but we have a real good plan, and the DA's office was impressed with how we're responding and how we're reacting and how we're handling it.
Fantastic.
When we get calls, the police go out and they advise people of the order. But then what we're doing is we're leaving it to the building official, building inspector to follow up with each of the construction crews and have that conversation about what is essential and what isn't.
Yep.
So we're making sure we're following that order And so far, it's been great, and the DA's office has offered assistance if we need it.
Well, I think one of the most important points is that there is a level of essential construction. We heard just this morning from a gentleman who's repairing an accessory dwelling unit on his property to house his 77-year-old mother, who, this is an ADA compliance, some work there. And I mean, clearly that's essential construction that has to continue. One of the interesting things we heard from the DA as well is that we received in about a week and a half 15 complaints about construction in Carmel, and then in reality only 3 of them were in our village. So I think that speaks to the fact that, again, the building inspector, Jermel, is out there on a regular basis. Thank you, Jermel. Bo Grundy, our co-compliance coordinator, and of course our police officers are out there all the time communicating with the construction industry, with property owners, with building owners, et cetera. So great work.
There may be construction taking place on your street near you. You might hear it, but I'm pretty confident we've contacted those people and we've determined either it's essential or not. But if you have any questions, please, you can call the police department. You can call building and planning. We do have spreadsheets of all the construction projects taking place. We can tell you if we've contacted them and whether if it's essential or not. We'll refer you to the right number and who to contact.
Perfect. Well, thank you. That's part of, again, the art of good government, communicating. So thank you, Chief. I just want to remind everyone in the words of Mark Watson from Visit Carmel, social distancing comes naturally in Carmel. Wash your hands in peace and friendship.
And take good care.
Take good care.